this, and this. Okay. Looks like it's finally working. Sorry for everybody who's been hanging out in chat waiting. Boy, did it want to give me a hard time right as I was about to go live. But here we are. We are live, which is exciting. And I don't know why it didn't change the name. Or it did. Did it? Let's just make sure it changed it over here on Twitch real quick for us. Yeah, all right. So, what's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here. We've got about an hour-ish or so till we are going to have to jump off of maybe a little more than an hour. So I thought, why not give us a shot at playing through new patch 8 Baldur's Gate 3. After I installed patch 8, the old bug with both friends and enemies making opportunity attacks on their allies is back. Well, that's fun. Let's go ahead and reconnect our Caster Labs chat for YouTube real quick. There we go. So something that I was going to attempt to do was establish and run crowd control here on Twitch at the very least, which will allow folks the capabilities to mess around with the game and like add random stuff. Oh boy, we are lagging out hard. Hang on. Or it's just Twitch that's lagging out hard. All right. Well, that's fixed. We can shut that down. We're just having a laggy computer day, but let's see. Okay. Well, yeah. So let's see what we can do. All right. Let's see if this works. We'll give this a shot, and if it doesn't work, we'll just roll into it here. But yeah, we're gonna start a fresh, brand new playthrough. We obviously have all of the patch 8 stuff is now like in the game. So we have all those fun new subclasses to use. And we also have a handful of mods and stuff turned on that I'm a fan of. So we'll just go ahead and see what goes down. So, first thing I'm going to do real quick is just check my mod manager and make sure that, yeah, see, I knew there was going to be, we're just going to enable everything and we're going to update. Well, I wish it would just update everything automatically, but it doesn't. That's something I'd love. But I got to give it credit to the mods. They're out here putting in the work and already making updates for patch 8. So, all right. So, wow, yeah, there's quite a few mods already at work here. So, all right. Oh, I'm not signed in to my Larian account. Let me do that real quick. Stand by while I do that. Oh boy, time to remember what my Larian account password is. Could I get lucky and get it on the first try? Oh man, first try. Let's go. Okay. Perfect. Oh, here we go. This is the one we want. All right, we're back in. So, go ahead and make sure I have everything open that let's move this up here. Activate that. And turn that on. Cool. All right. So now comes the part where we're going to have to make some decisions. So first of all, we're starting a fresh game. We're in the process of downloading. Some of these mods are loading in. So give me a sec while that gets updated. The question is, how crazy do we get? Like, there are certain mods that I think are a must-have at this point in the game because they just add so much to it. The real question becomes how much... oh, boy. The real question becomes, do we go full tilt on 2024 rules in Baldur's Gate 3? Because I have those mods currently in and enabled, which will allow us to play in terms of 2024, or do we try to give this more of a like a vanilla BG3 patch 8 in that aspect of everything will be with BG3 rules, if that makes sense. So we'll just hit cancel while we let that update those couple of mods. So if we take a look at these, there's a handful of 2024 mods. The ones that I have that I know that are stable or work are, for example, this 5R backgrounds mod just gives you the additional backgrounds. This one here bumps up the max level to level 14. It increases the difficulty of monsters on higher level difficulty. It does things like the help action doesn't revive people. It's now a medicine check, like it would have to be in D&D. Let's move up the volume there a little bit. Weapon mastery is implemented in full, like 2024 rules. It makes everything pretty much mimic the way the 2024 Player's Handbook rules are versus like traditional BG3. So it will definitely help you learn 2024 D&D more so than not enabling it. So we're getting a handful of folks going for 2024. It doesn't really change that much. Let me be frank. What it will do is it will push all of the subclasses to 3rd level. It will make it, again, the initiative rolls will be a D20 as opposed to a D4. Again, the monsters will be more difficult than they were previously. You'll get the origin feat at the start, so you'll start with like a feat from a new background. You'll have the heroic inspiration mechanic, and then martial classes will have access to the weapon mastery properties. So we have a bunch of things in here as far as like customization options and stuff. Oh, we got more mods updated. Oh, they're still updating. Jesus. Update already. Come on, Faces of Faerun. You're taking forever here. But we're actually going to disable Esther's Brilliant Acquisitions because I don't want that one on. And then more importantly, you guys have to help me choose like what class we're gonna play, what we should make all the other origin characters, who we should bring with us and stuff. Blade Singer is pretty solid. We may have to just turn off Faces of Faerun if this isn't gonna update in time here. So a lot of people loving Blade Singer, huh? Okay, looks like all our mods are up to date now. Okay, I think everything is... Oh, let's... Hang on. I think it's accessibility. We gotta make sure we turn off the genitals and the sexual and violent cinematics so we don't get banned off of Twitch. Alright, so new game. We're obviously going for honor mode here, right? Like, clearly. We gotta go as difficult as we can be. Alright, so we're gonna see. And you know what? It's not the end of the world if we like. It's currently established for 2024. There is also another mod called like 2024 all in one, um, which does basically a similar thing. It's also not impossible to turn those off. I think we're going to skip our intro cinematic. I think we've all seen this intro cinematic thousands of times at this point. Okay. So, it's time. Say we have things like goblins and changelings are added in here from some of the mods we have, so those are options. Boy, man, what to play? I mean, Bladesinger is cool. I do love a good wizard. We all know this. Right? You can just do a hat swap real quick and we can play a wizard. Let's look at the classes because we have... Let's think about the subclasses, okay? So we currently have Path of the Giant Barbarian, which is pretty awesome, right? No, but everybody likes Path of the Giant Barbarian. I don't love Glamour Bard, personally. That's one of the new ones. Death Cleric, I think we're probably going to instantly respec Shadowheart to Death Cleric. I think that's a no-brainer. Druid is Stars Druid. I'm not crazy about Stars Druid. Fighter is Arcane Archer, which I do like the looks of the changes to the Arcane Archer. Monk is Drunken Master Monk. I'm not that interested in that. Paladin is Oath of the Crown, which I'm also not that curious about. We do have Hexblade Warlock, and we have Shadow Sorcerer, which are kind of cool. And I don't really have any interest in the Swarm Keeper Ranger or the Swashbuckler Rogue. So we got a lot of interesting options floating around. So let's go ahead and see. Yeah, what to play? I think I definitely want to have a Death Cleric. Shadowheart will absolutely be a Death Cleric once that's an option for us. I think it'd be interesting to do a Hexblade Warlock, especially given the fact that like the Pact boons in here kind of almost made Hexblade Warlock irrelevant, yet they have it here as well. Giant Barbarian would also be interesting. I think I want to try Shadow Sorcerer so bad. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do Shadow Sorcerer. Let's go ahead and change. Let's see what we want our race to be. I mean, Tiefling feels like a reasonable option, right? Yeah, dude, the crossplay is huge. Charismatic half-orc. That's definitely an option. Could just play a little gobbo. They finally fixed it so that the goblins have clothes. This mod, for the longest time, they were always just flat out naked. You could not put clothes on the goblins. So they changed that at least. What does the changeling give us here? Shapeshift. Change the rapier, short sword, hand crossbow, light medium armor. Advantage on saving throws against being charmed. Dark vision out to 80 feet. I mean, half-elf always feels like the play, doesn't it, for sorcerer? I mean, it used to be just because of the way the stats worked. That is true. Half-orc plus the shadow revive is nuts because you'll basically be unkillable. What does human get us now? Because remember, we're switched to 2024, so we do have some new stuff. So human now will get us the following. 30-foot movement speed, a skill proficient. We're going to just get the alert feat out the gate, +5 to initiative. We're going to get the human inspiration once every, and long rest, and then allows use of heroic inspiration. So that's actually pretty solid, as well. I mean, I do love tiefling. I just have a hard time not choosing human every time. You know, that's just me. I always play humans in D&D, and I don't know why. Humans are elves typically. Could do drow maybe. Speak with animals, fleet of foot. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with what I want, and I'm gonna go with human. Let's go. We got the sorcerer choice. We will have to pick spells and stuff. Don't have to make any choices here. Cantrips. Okay. We're gonna have access to some new stuff that you won't have recognized will be in here. So we have, what's this? Sorceress Burst. We absolutely want Sorceress Burst. That's one of the best cantrips in the game. I don't know if Sorceress Burst is a mod spell or they added Sorceress Burst with patch 8. So either way. These are usually the end of the spell list here are usually the mod spells. So after True Strike, we'll have things like Mistra's Booming Blade, Create Bonfire, Frostbite, Green Flame Blade, Gust, Larlock's Minor Drain, Lightning Lure, Infestation, Mind Sliver, Mold Earth, Prestidigitation, Shape Water, and Sword Burst. Those are usually the mod ones. So it looks like Sorcerer's Burst was added in as a base option, which is pretty cool. We'll go ahead and throw on Friends, who doesn't want to have access to auto advantage on charisma checks. Sorcerer's Burst has a range of 60 feet, which is the same as Firebolt, so that's good. Looks like Mind Sliver has been added in as an official spell now, which is pretty nuts. Oh, and Thunderclap as well? Interesting. Oh, they might have changed the spells back around. Yeah, we'll throw Mind Sliver on there. We should probably throw Shocking Grasp, right, to get us a little up close and personal action, or Sword Burst for some melee. All right, what are our spells? Let's see what we got here. We got some colorful looking ones here. What do we got? We've got Chaos Bolt here. Earth Tremor, Frost Fingers, Id Insinuation, Sudden Awakening, Tasha's Caustic Brew. This is the benefit of those mods I was telling you about. Shield, Mage Armor, Absorb Elements. This is the problem that we're going to run into, is the limited nature of the spells we have access to. I feel like we gotta take Chaos Bolt, right? Because it's just because. Unless no, this doesn't update the Chromatic Orb to be 2024's Chromatic Orb, at least from the looks of it. We'll take Shield. See this is oh, it doesn't have the interesting. Well, we might have to go back and switch off our mods, because if you notice, it does not have Shadow Sorcerer here, because the 2024 conversion has added Clockwork and Aberrant Sorcerer and then the 3 base versions, but it does not. That 2024 mod did not have Shadow Sorcerer, because I guess it has not been updated. So, that sucks. So I guess we're gonna have to pop back and swap that off. Well, this is a learning experience. I haven't played around with mods since we've had like a full-blown patch update. You know, we'd probably go look and see if what mods are approved for patch 8 at this point. But yeah, we don't have Shadow Sorcery as an option here. Interesting. So, well, hang on. Let's, I guess we're going to have to go back, oops, to the main menu and turn off that mod. Well, now we're again, learning experience here. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I was really hoping to do the to run it that way. All right, well, back into the mod manager. Oh, here we go. Patch 8 tested. Okay, a lot of these we have already are patch 8 tested and approved. So there's only 5 pages of them. So we can do a quick look and just see. No, that's not there. The real question is things like, are the all converted 2024? Let's see. Sorcerer update, Paladin update. Yeah, they have the individual ones that people have done just for individual classes have been passed through for 2024 for patch 8. All right. Well, I guess we're going to go into the mod manager. And we're going to disable our 5R conversion mods. Start a new game. Honor mode. Well, we can check it right out the gate. That's the first thing we're going to check now is, will this get us the Shadow Sorcerer or not? Because that's going to make a big difference whether or not we run those mods. Let's see. Okay.
Who are you?
There it is. So yeah, that is definitely a fundamental of the background that we had there. The 5R conversion. Well, it looks like we're going back to 2024. It was only had to turn off 2 mods, and it was a pretty simple transition. But now you'll notice that we're back to these updates. You know what? Hang on. Let me try one thing. Let's see if we can go 2024 classes real quick. Races real quick. Let's see. If we turn on the backgrounds, will that work? Again, we're learning as we go here, trying to figure this stuff out. I'm sure in the next couple of days, these mods will be all updated to hit 2024. Like all those mods will hit, or rather, patch 8. So we won't have any issues. But until then, this will be a learning experience. And I'll be doing more of this stream of whatever we finally land on during the rest of this week. So let's go ahead and see human. It looks like that didn't come into play here for this one. Interesting. It is still giving us 2024, or 2014 rather. Huh. I wonder if I just didn't enable it. I'll try one more thing. Then I promise you we're going to start playing this game. I feel like I've just been spinning in circles. I do know that the Blade Singer, they made it proficiency bonus for a lot of this, as opposed to like adding your intelligence modifier, which I thought was something interesting. That was a choice they made. All right, yeah. Well. So yeah, I think for Blade Singer, you add your proficiency bonus to your armor class and your proficiency bonus to Constitution saving throws as opposed to your intelligence modifier. So it's an interesting choice to change that aspect of the Blade Singer class. I don't know why they would do that. All right, well, we're sticking with what we had. Sorcerer. Ah, see, we lost out on a handful of... It looks like that 2024 conversion mod is the one that gave us Sorcerous Burst as a spell option. And you'll see, because it changed all the names to match. So, like, Chill Touch would have gone from Bone Chill, would have gone to Chill Touch. So we do still have some additional extra mods that we did not have, like Bursting Sinew, which is a new spell that they did add in, let's see, Booming Blade. Looks like that might be here. I know Bursting Sinew is a new cantrip they added in patch 8, where you basically cause a corpse to explode. So we're still going to take Friends, probably still take their Shocking Grasp or Sword Burst. Well, Bursting Sinew sounds pretty cool. I think do we have Toll the Dead? We're supposed to have Toll the Dead, but that might be not available to Warlocks off the top of my, or Sorcerers rather. Okay. Mistra's Booming Blade. We're not going to really be a melee character, I don't think. There's just straight up Booming Blade. Yeah, thank you, chat. Yeah, Blade Song scales with proficiency bonus now. Well, I want to take Bursting Sinew because that just seems like a cool choice. And then maybe get Shocking Grasp. And I mean, Firebolt and Ray of Frost have the same distance. I feel like you gotta go Firebolt. Alright, spells. We do still have access to Chaos Bolt. And we do also still have... I'm going to take Shield because you find a lot of scrolls of Mage Armor and Magic Missile. Also, I didn't enable a mod. There is a mod that does enable you to find scrolls of all of these additional spells here, like Absorb Elements and Insinuation, all these. There are a mod that adds scrolls, and more importantly, there's a mod that just adds those scrolls in the wild out in places where you can just find them, which is kind of cool. All right, we talked about Shadow Magic. All right, and then our background. Okay, we do still have access to some of our... Oh, we do. We don't have all of them, which is odd. We have, like, the original ones. And then we do have access to some of the backgrounds came through. So this will let us choose ones that are essentially going to give us a feat. So let's see here. Guard gives us Athletics and Perception and the Alert feat. Hermit's going to give us Spare the, basically Magic Initiate Cleric. Let's see, what can we choose as skill proficiencies as a sorcerer out the gate? Okay, let's see. Let's see, we have Acrobatics and Perception currently from our background. We'll probably want to take Arcana is a good choice. And then maybe Persuasion is a good choice. And then we do get a freebie one here for being a human. What do we want? Performance, Intimidation. Maybe Insight? Let's go back and choose our background. Okay. Soldier, Athletics, Intimidation. Scribe is going to give us the Skilled feat, which is going to, as you can see, give us History, Perception, Investigation, Nature, and Arcana. Again, giving us the Skilled feat here for Noble. So Farmer is actually going to give us the Tough feat right out the gate. Going to get Animal Handling, Nature, and then the extra hit points from Tough. Criminal's going to give us Alert. Charlatan's going to give us Skilled. So honestly, using these mods, I feel like probably Charlatan fits as a charisma class because you're going to get Deception, Sleight of Hand, Persuasion, Insight, and Investigation. So you're going to get a ton of skills right there. You go Farmer, so you can get Tough right out the gate. Scribe also gives similar useful ones. And then, you know, Wayfarer gives you insight, stealth, and 3 uses of lucky. So, I don't know. Or Merchant gives you animal handling and lucky. Yeah, let's see. Merchant gives us, what do we have background-wise? Arcana, Deception, Survival. You got Persuasion. We got Animal Handling. And then we could pop off Survival and maybe take Insight if we want. And this will give us Lucky, which is not a bad thing to have. Or we could go something like Charlatan and just have a ton of options for basically give us everything if we want it. The lucky background thing won't, no, it won't stack. It's going to function essentially like lucky. If we had the 2024 mods, those lucky points would be tied to our proficiency bonus, so they would scale up like lucky does in 2024. So no, we'll be locked into, I think, basically just the 3. So, I mean, you know, do we want to be the skill monkey for our party, right? We could do that by having a whole bunch of skills. We could go with, like I said, we could go with lucky, get ourselves some, you know, freebie rerolls, or maybe just go with tough and be a little bit stronger than we were before. Yeah, it might work to give us extra lucky points, but think we'll ever see another campaign module from WotC before 2042. I mean, I would hope so at this point, but I don't really think I need intimidation. I feel like religion comes up more often than intimidation does. Let's see. Yeah, I'm torn between lucky, tough. I just like animal handling and nature are not things I need. It's just the only way to get tough on a character. Yeah. History, perception, investigation, nature, arcana. I feel like charlatan's the way to go. It's just going to give us the most useful stuff. And it's free, so it's not like... I mean, alert is also nice, especially because we're... Actually, I don't think we're using a D20 initiative here, so... But... Yeah, arcana, religion, and we maybe put this on perception. So we've got persuasion... We got sleight of hand, arcana, investigation, religion, insight, perception, deception, persuasion. That's pretty solid, honestly. That's going to give us just about everything we would want. All right, and we'll go ahead and hit confirm. And we'll rework our stats a little bit. Lower our intelligence. Let's see. We've got... Constitution. I'm trying to think what we're going to be doing as a sorcerer. Are we going to be casting a lot of concentration spells, or are we going to be doing... Probably not. Well, we could just tank our intelligence and give ourselves 16. Going min-max, baby. All right, let's see all the different options we have here now.
Where to next? Let's hope the locals of
Health.
Be wary. More of those wretched things.
All right, see, we have a couple different options here now for different faces we did not have before. Things we've added in. And then see, we have extra, like, hair options that can be layered on top of things. Because, so we obviously have our base hair. If we were to scroll down. See, We can add we have all these different mods now, so you can go really crazy. We haven't even gotten to, like, here's base hair, right? And you can see we also have, like, NPC hair, right? Here's Kaga's hair, right? Here, you'll see, right? Here's Karlach's. So we added, this is why I go through all the effort of adding in all those mods for customization, because as you can see, you could really, like, you want to have Orin's hair, maybe, or, you know, some of the Harpy's hair. Like, you can go real nuts. Priestess Gut. And then obviously there's all these additional hair options, which is why I do think it's worth looking through and finding which ones you like, because you can add so much variety to your character here. So you could go with like this, or I don't know. That's the tricky part, though. It just adds that much more to your character creation. Yeah, go ahead. I don't mind anybody talking about subclasses. Go to town. Chat away. Give ourselves some Karlach hair. What could we do if we go back to general? Because then we could start adding in, get real weird, and add in more hair on top. Low ponytails, or it's just so funky, the stuff you can add in. Oh, look at this one's got like rings and stuff in it. See, there's a lot of cool shit that people have come up with that I really like. This is why it's worth taking the time to like dig through everything. Yeah, just bangs. All these different kinds of options for extra bangs. Obviously, they're not designed for usage with a shaved head, but we could make some really atrocious looking characters if you wanted to. All right. Let's go. Let's turn off these options here and the bangs for a sec. Or actually pick the hair. Karlach hair is not too far off from what I'm envisioning in my head for this character. Just give him the Astarion hair or the Gortash hair. God, the Gortash hair is so just bad. Give him the Gale. Look at that crazy Astarion hair. Look at that poof. Karen. Let's see. Let's see. Boy. Man, I love the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack. It's so good. Again, this is the only problem. Is that now I don't know what I want to pick. I have too many options. All right. let's go back and see if we want to add anything funky other hair-wise. Give us this crazy-ass mullet. Well, that's wild. That would be really funny. Or give him, like, the Shadow Heart bun, but with a different front haircut. Man, you can make some real funny haircuts here. I really made it difficult for myself, haven't I? Oh, hair horns? Is that what that is? It's a choice. I want to give him any funky bangs. It's not a phase, Mom. It's almost too funny to not. Let's see. I feel like Larian has done some of the strangest changes I've seen for subclasses, such as making Dragon Starry Form do the same thing as Archer, but more. I've been seeing a lot of videos from D&D content creators quitting and saying D&D is dead. Reasoning behind Critical Role probably moving to Jaggerheart for their next campaign. The badly received last update for D&D. What are your thoughts on all that drama? Is D&D slowly dying? Well, that's a whole lot to unpack. But I don't know. People like doom and glooming stuff, I think, and obviously it sells, like, content-wise. People who make doom and gloom content have better numbers, like on their videos and stuff. Overall. So, like, I know that that's the reason why a lot of people are making said content. I don't know if I'd say D&D is slowly dying. I think people want to say that that's the case, but the thing is, you're seeing content creators on the internet, and you're seeing people on social media say D&D is dying, and what nobody really has a good candle on capturing is how many of those people that play D&D engage with any of that shit. D&D, first and foremost, as we all know, is a pen and paper sit down at the table role-playing game. There are thousands, if not millions, of people who play D&D who just don't engage with any of the shit on the internet anyway. And honestly, if they pick up the book and they like it, and regardless of what Wizards of the Coast or anything else is doing, it doesn't really impact them. We happen to be around a very vocal and very loud group of people that are on social media, and if you follow those social medias, you'll see that. Now, I don't know the answer one way or another, and I do see some questionable things going on, but Critical Role moving on to Daggerheart, I don't know, that's what they're going to do. It makes the most monetary sense for them to do that over anything else. I also do find it funny that Critical Role has a D20 as their logo, and the system they designed doesn't use a D20 in it. Maybe they'll change their logo going forward, I don't know. That's just an interesting point of fact. And is it falling? I don't know. Maybe it is falling. Maybe it's failing. I mean, they're still putting out books. They're still making content. There are people that are still employed at the company. You know, if it was truly, truly failing, I feel like Hasbro, who's a big corporate who doesn't really care too much about the little guy, would just close everything off. Sure, people are leaving and retiring. There's a lot of people saying they think that it's good, they deserve the rest. And then there are other people that are saying, follow the rats, the ship is sinking, time to get out of get out of here. And I don't really know what to tell you one way or another. Again, it also doesn't help that people like myself and others are so clued into what's going on to keeping an eye on this kind of stuff that we're making content about it, so it kind of maybe hyperinflates whether or not it's as big a deal as it should be. I don't know, but just throwing that out there too. You know what? After all that, I think we're just going to keep this look. We're going to go ahead and give him it's going to have that scar, you know. Is he going to have some tattoos? I think we should have some extra tattoo options. Yeah. Unfortunately, these tattoos don't, like, the lemon tattoos, they don't show you what they are. You have to, like, click on them. Next time Brady got into a fight. Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, we're going to give him, let's see. We go like, yeah, Shadow Sorcerer, right? We got to do that. We could also add, see, there's other, oh, we could give him the sweetest, like, wing eyeliner, but no. I feel like we got to stick with the black hair, you know? Now, we got some interesting facial hair options because this is some of the beard options that we've added. See, we've got like this one. We got my favorite with the cigar permanently stuck in your mouth. It is the new Dubba. It's the new update mixed with a bunch of my mods and stuff. So like here, these have like the little. Obviously, a lot of these seem very much dwarven. We could get a Dum Dum Dugan kind of look going on here. Big handlebar mustache. Could just get him some sideburns. Okay. And the pipe. Can we do just like stubble? Is that an option? Oh boy, that's very patchy, huh? Give me the old mutton chops. I honestly kind of like these, the longer braided sideburns. And we have, you know, we're not doing horns. If we go back to the body art, yeah, I don't know why they had. Just add extra earrings. There are a way to add some really cool, interesting extra earrings that were not part of the base game. I saw a couple of mods for that. These daggers, Barovia things. I don't know why they would do like mirror all these. I think it's because some of the dyes you could do to like multi-tier some of these, but oh, you know what it is? I think some of them are not available. They're tied to certain races, can only get certain tattoos. So I think it might just give you the access to all of them for every race. That's probably what it is. Okay. I think this is our boy here. Did I want to give him some facial hair? If I could have done facial hair on top of the sideburns, I would have. Unfortunately, there's not an option to add both. You'd have to do something funky with like in here where we had all these options. You would have had to have like a beard option as well. So unfortunately, that's going to be where we live right now. All right, let's go ahead and proceed. And this is our boy. He is the Shadow Daddy. So this is Zonathan, the Shadow Daddy. And now we need to just randomize. All right, that's what we landed on. That's what we're going with. Okay. Into the Nautiloid we go. Okay, we received some items. Let's see. What do we have? Scroll of Summon Instrument Chest. Loot of Musical Sprites. Okay, some of these things were just new mods that I added. Ember's Loot. Okay. Okay, what else? Oh boy. What's up with our bar down here? It's like totally broken. You notice that? We got nothing down here. That's a new one. Well, that's gonna be fun. If it totally busted up.
Open up.
Lower bar.
Dead.
Alright, well, time to run around and see what we can figure out here. Figure out why we don't have any taskbar at all. It's definitely the nature of one or some mod causing that to happen right now.
Bet that will fit in my pack.
Alright, well, we got one more chest over here to open.
Hiding here.
Okay, we got the Fades Equipment Distribution Med Pack. So that's always a good thing to have. Now, Loot of Musical Sprites. Grants musical proficiency and other subtle benefits. Use passive... Alright, well, we gotta try this out, right? See what happens. I wish I had a bar that worked. Well, that's fun. Oh, it gave me a bardic inspiration. All right, well, that's a little too much right out the gate. The Loot of Musical Sprites here. Also gives me empowered spell. All right, that's cool. That's a little too powerful right out the gate. Now we have this instrument chest. Oh boy. What does this come with? Ember's Loot. I only picked these because it looks like you can do musical instruments and you can generate an ensemble to, like, play with you, which is kind of cool.
Let's see what this does.
Well, it's going to be very interesting without having our bar at all for some reason. That is definitely going to prove difficult. Yeah, they're...
Very well.
Don't know what's causing that, I'll tell you that much.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return. A newborn. Born new from this husk.
Oh, I should turn this up. This is really low, huh? There you go.
A minion of the mind flayer. You.
Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us. Please.
Okay. Yeah, +1, -1. +2 to dexterity, pull it from the brain. Here we go. Woo! Alright, we managed to do it.
The brain lifts from the skull, but you notice an opportunity. You could cripple the strange creature, making it more subservient, should it prove a threat.
Okay, no, we'll spare. Because we're ideally going to try to get him in Act 2 if we can.
Free. Our freedom is ours, friend.
All right.
The creature pauses, listening.
We must go to the helm. At the helm, we are needed.
I wonder what is causing this glitch in our taskbar here. Okay, so we can see certain things. See our spells over here. See other aspects. But I'm very curious to see how Blade Singer plays. I have a character that I wanted to play that is a Blade Singer, so it'd be very interesting to give that a shot in BG3.
Abomination.
Your head.
No, we're gonna skip Lae'zel's dialogue here.
You are no weak. Within days, we will be gay. We can do nothing and... As for
All right.
that thing,
Okay. Oh wow, Us doesn't have a taskbar either, huh? Nobody does.
I won't give in.
Okay, that is not great. Oh, that's melee. That's Chaos Bolt. Shocking Grasp. Friends. Firebolt. Okay.
victory awaits. Going into hiding.
Oh shit, I accidentally had her hide. Because I can't see the taskbar. Alright, well, we managed to get through that.
You proved surprisingly adequate in battle.
Unusual diamond.
Now, to the helm.
Creates clone. Okay. We'll take a look at those in a second. I'll show you what they do.
Good here, I hope. Swift as my feet can carry me.
But we're gonna need to figure out how we get the taskbar to show up again. Sometimes this is a thing that's like a long rest and it'll fix itself. Sometimes I don't know what would cause this though. It doesn't make any sense. We didn't do anything that affected the toolbar, as far as I know. Again, as far as I know, but okay. So the bag of overwhelming chaos. So we want to drink that one to activate treasure goblins. Now these other ones here, these we don't want to mess with. This will add random spawns to the game, like, and just random locations. Things will start to spawn in. Now, if anybody has the time and they can figure out what might be causing my taskbar to just disappear, that would be cool. Then we could figure out how to undo that.
Let's see.
To this person, we get the key. So any of the things, by the way, if you're doing any mods that say they use the tutorial chest, that's this chest right here is the tutorial chest. So see, here's all the dyes that we have are all appear here in the tutorial chest. So here's the potion that gives you access to the tutorial chest. This is the instrument chest. Go ahead and take these. This is, so I have a thing that lets you, if you want to make somebody a vampire, they can drink this. It gives them the vampire bite. And these are all different dyes for your armor. So, now I guess we'll take the potion of tutorial chest just in case we want to access it later. Sure it's not an item we picked up that's doing it. A troll mod item? It's possible. We can look at that and see what we have.
Anything of use? Don't mind if
That would be hilarious if it's a mod, if it's an item. Just drop straight into your inventory. Screen very getting quickly started. It's one of the several instruments included in this mod. Okay. Well, I can't send it to camp because we don't have camp. But I guess we can mess around with that after the fact.
The console appears dormant. The console hums to life. Suddenly, then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection.
Alright, I
Authority.
can free
Feel a shiver.
Shadowheart.
You keep dangerous company.
Alright,
Fair. Let me come with you.
let's get going. I'm Zonathan.
Fine. She's right.
Okay, we go to Shadowheart. Oh, look on Shadowheart. Spellbook. Let's go ahead and prepare Shield of Faith and prepare Command. Okay.
Onward in her name.
no one back home will ever believe this.
Am I missing this guy that's...
Something the matter? Besides, I'm right behind you.
Can't kill a guy that's strapped to a chair? There we go. Whoa, what is that? Oh, it's a treasure goblin.
Breathe
Isn't it?
deep and move.
Okay, yeah, look. See, we have a treasure goblin that's spawned in. And he's trying to leave through this portal, I think. I don't know if I can reach it. He's right here. There he is. I missed because I'm an idiot. Okay. This is certainly difficult. There we go. Okay.
Evidence breeds madness.
So the name of the game is try to find where the abilities are. Okay.
There's no time to waste.
Shadowheart's
Let's
turn.
see what I can glean.
Ugh, man.
I'll go this way.
Alright. Can she kill this thing? It's got 2 health. Don't heal it. Shadowheart! Oh, it left. Damn it. She missed with an 80% chance to hit. Instead, we just got a ritual staff from hitting it and a piece of gold. Well, anyway, you got to experience treasure goblins right out the gate. I was just unaware that it was happening. I was confused there for a second. Well, we got this 1 piece of gold we can go pick up.
More for me. Time to press ahead.
All right. Let us continue on. Let's heal. And
Here goes nothing.
move on into the next area. Okay, we've got command prepared. We still don't have a taskbar, which is really annoying. I don't know how we're gonna fix that. All right. Guess onward we go.
We are nearing the... Who put you, Kenya?
Let's see how we're able to do here.
Do it. We will deal with the Geich after we escape.
Connect the nerves.
Mm-hmm. All right.
We need to get out of here now. Come on, can't stay idle. Have to keep going.
All right, we're doing all right. Our Mind Flayer buddy's got the stun.
On I go.
Oh no. We don't know what they are. Which one is drop? I think that's grovel. Alt. Approach. I think this is drop. All right, we lucked out on that one. Boy.
Swift and lethal.
So far, so good. We don't have our taskbar. We can't see any of the things for whatever reason. Oh, it cloned this enemy. See that? How there's 2 of them? We have the diamond, it cloned the enemy. that. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Not that. Not that. Boy. Oh, you don't have you don't have a cleave with a long sword, do you? No. It is certainly an added challenge. I will tell you, I will give you that. Not an intended challenge, but a challenge nonetheless. Alright, we'll try Chaos Bolt. And we missed anyway. Awesome. Oh, shield works. Well, Shadow Heart with a hit. Alright, time to start looting. See if there's anything worth grabbing. Doesn't not look like it. See, I'm okay with the cloned enemies now, as long as the cloned enemies are lower level enemies. Once we start getting higher level cloned enemies, then I'm not going to be so happy about it.
Where do I go from here?
Okay. Just jumping in late. I've seen content videos about WoW dying since I was in high school 18 years ago. Yeah, I mean, the WoW killer was another thing we always heard about. What new MMO is going to be the WoW killer?
Victory awaits.
Okay, we have the Everburn Blade. Okay.
Blood comes easy these days. Open up.
Oh, not spell slots. Yeah. Thank you. We're, still early on in, my patch. That was one of the first things I did was download that patch late last night so I could make sure I was ready to go for today. Although, whatever we got going on with this not giving us access to our skill bar is really killing me here.
Taste my fury.
Alright, the others are showing up, so we should probably move this party along here.
Time to push my luck again. What's inside?
Victory awaits.
I got him bleeding too. I always wondered if you could do enough damage, if you were strong enough to kill the Cambions too. And if they drop anything beyond the stuff you obviously get from Commander Zalk being the Everburn blade.
Well, so much for peace. Breathe deep and move.
A few gems. Okay. Worth a note. Thank you for letting me know. I imagined you get the tridents, but that was about it.
I am fury. I am death.
Uh-oh. Well, this may not go as well as we had hoped. With our spawning duplicate enemies here. Yeah, okay. Oh, we're in trouble now.
Still breathing, despite everything. One day I'll catch a break.
Uh-oh. Can't make it there. Got spell slots.
Time to strike. What lies within?
Uh-oh. Yeah, that was gonna happen. That ain't good.
Not going to last much longer.
Well, we may not make it off of this place at this rate. Can we make it there? Let's find out.
I will ascend. Let's finish this. Time to strike. Within reach.
Woo! Cutting that one a little bit
The
close.
Helm alien transponder.
But we made it. Barely. Okay.
As you wake, the tadpole squirms in your skull. Other than the infection, but it'll all be for another tadpole.
Okay. We still don't have our taskbar yet, which is annoyingly frustrating. So this is definitely going to be a thing I do in the downtime, in between stream
Right on my feet.
and the next stream, where we figure out what the hell went wrong.
You're alive. I'm alive.
Yeah, we're both alive, Shadowheart.
First, we might have escaped, but we still have the. We need each other. One thing. It would lead the way.
Alright, we now have Shadowheart, and we both got the level up, which is important. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I put in Origin feat, which gives you a... You can't give people a feat at first level because the game doesn't allow you to get anything because you have to level up to unlock things. So it gives you a feat at second level because so many people do a feat at first level as a mechanic. So, all right, let's go ahead and choose another spell here. Let's go with, I mean, Magic Missile is a classic option. Mage Armor is so useful. Also, Absorb Elements, also very solid. I'm going to choose Absorb Elements. All right, we get Meta Magic. Careful Spell is huge. And Twin Spell is also very big. All right, so now we get a feat. Now, it'll give us all the original feats, but we also put Tasha's Cauldron feats in here as well, so we have some other things down below that might be like Meta Magic Adept that'll add other options here. Give us additional sorcery points. We have things like Fey Touched, and obviously we're a Shadow Daddy, right? We're Shadow Touched. So we're going to bump our Charisma by 1. We're going to get Invisibility as a spell. Oh, the choice of spell options are kind of shitty, though. Yeah, unfortunately, all these other ones are base. So, like, Warcaster now would give us a +1 constant, or +1 to our spellcasting mod in 2024. It doesn't here. So I guess we'll have to go with either... Yeah, I guess we'll go with Shadow Touched. And go with, I guess, maybe Inflict Wounds as a spell to have as an extra. Not bad to have. And then we'll get Shadow Heart's level up here. Which is kind of going to be a throwaway at this point because... not too much has changed, but she will get access to a feat. And we'll want to get her something that's going to boost her Wisdom by 1. So we'll probably give her Fey Touch so she can get a free Misty Step. And we'll also get her access to another free spell. Dissonant Whispers is not bad, but probably Bless. Safe call. And I think this may be the end of our stream as my son just got home from daycare. So I won't, but one of our first, see this right here? See this? This initiative here, these people on the beach, they're in the middle of a combat because this is one of those extra encounters I was telling you about. Like, these people are alive here and they're being assaulted. They're not dead. They're being assaulted by intellect devourers. So you can show up and actually save these people. I can't see any of my stuff. I'm just going to end it there. Well, we could save them. They're not doing so hot, though. I'll have to see if Shadowheart can't maybe save this guy. Oh boy, he's out of range. Well, we took one out.
Another step forward.
That's gonna kill that guy. See, we could have saved them had we gotten here. No, this is a mod. This is extra encounters and mini bosses, which is... I've never been able to save them because I usually forget that they're here, but you can actually save all of these guys if you show up early enough and, like, get right into the fight. And maybe if you had more of a team, you might be able to actually take out the intellect devourers before they kill that party. So these guys will obviously... I don't think they have anything on them. But they'll be thankful and stuff if you're able to save them. Maybe next time we'll be able to save them. But yeah, it adds extra encounters all throughout the game in a variety of different locations. So it's definitely worth... It's a must-have mod, in my opinion. As well as the ones that add extra, like, loot in random places.
Have a look.
So, like, these dead bodies are just, like, people. But we might be able to go ahead and find, like, some random loot on some of them. Actually, if I recall, there's a piece of random loot over here. I think. Is it on this fisherman? Let's see. Yeah, okay, the hermit crab. So one of the many other mods I add is one that just adds random loot. So this is the hermit crab, which fits in your ring slot, and it just gives you a +2 to perception. So this is just a random loot mod that's just added in, that just randomly you get shit all over the place. So... you might find stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and save, and then we're going to go ahead and take a long rest and hope that that fixes the taskbar. If not, I will fix the taskbar in between sessions here, and we'll figure out what we can do.
Need a quick word.
How to get that working. Turn on and off a bunch of mods so we figure out which one works.
The reliable sort. There are a few. Each hour that passes, the thing may rest.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get this long rest and hope for the best.
Calm night is every time dragons.
I'm just gonna skip
Gears
through
and the
this.
hells themselves have come after you.
And probably
Yet it is
we
this
succeed on that
creature
roll.
that lingers, Baldur's, yet it is you will see.
All right, let's just see. Were we lucky enough? Did that fix anything? No, it did not. And at least now we have the opportunity to send stuff to camp. So, what do we have in here? More dye bags. Yeah. All right, we can maybe... I don't think any of these are the trick. We can go ahead and drop all these in case any of this stuff... No, it doesn't look like it's a mod, like an item we picked up that's turning off all of our stuff. So, I don't know what it is. I'll have to play around. But as I said, I was going to play until my other son got home from daycare. So, time for me to sign off here for now. I may be back streaming this more later, hopefully with a fixed taskbar. And if not, I will be back probably tomorrow night. Since I don't have any D&D this week, we'll probably be streaming this continued run every night this week while we try to figure out stuff, and maybe we'll add and edit things as more mods get updated to patch 8. So, sorry it took so long. We had a lot of back and forth trying to figure stuff out at the beginning. More to come on this brand new Shadow Sorcerer run of Baldur's Gate 3. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.